I remember this girl looks at me and says, well, Bubba, I'm gonna put it in you now. Wait, what? And at that moment, I knew I had to get myself out of there as quick as possible. Yo, what is going on, you guys? My name is Bubba, and welcome back to another really embarrassing story. So this story all takes place back in my high school year, and this was actually my grade 12 year. Now, in grade 12, I won't lie to you, I had a lot of stress coming on to me because of graduation that was happening. But on top of that, turning 18 was not easy, because when you turn 18, life starts to look differently around you, and you start realizing that you're basically becoming an adult. And it's scary because, well, what are you supposed to do as an adult? You're supposed to get your career in line. Everyone's getting ready for more school that they have to deal with after high school, and life just does not seem like it's gonna get easier. But I remember a couple months before graduation, obviously my main goal was to basically make many memories before high school ended. And honestly, I wasn't the only one that thought this way, because apparently a lot of people in my school also wanted to make memories to basically last forever and they can always look back on. So knowing this, I remember basically one time I was walking down my school hallway, and I remember I ended up seeing a girl walk up to me. She walked up to me and she was one of those really emo girls that, I'm not gonna lie, I was never really into growing up, but at the same time, she was still somewhat cute. Like, she had a cute face, I guess we could say. And I remember she looks at me and says, hey, so I don't know if you heard, but I'm hosting a party, and like, I'm not gonna lie, I'm not really popular, so I was wondering, could you help me invite people? Yeah, I mean, I could, but why do you want my help? Well, like, I don't know, you know a lot of girls apparently, and like, I feel like you're just the perfect person to help. Which at this moment, she was not wrong, because I'm gonna be real with you guys, I was really popular throughout high school since I did a lot of the Devil's Tango. So not only did a lot of girls know me, but also a lot of guys knew me for being the ultimate player. Which, I mean, don't get me wrong, a lot of them did hate me, but at the same time, that's only because I ended up doing their girlfriends. But going on with the story, I remember basically, I ended up agreeing to help this girl out, and well, one thing led to another, I ended up spreading it amongst the entire school. If there was one thing I was really good at doing, was spreading a rumor. And I remember I went person to person to everyone in the school, and I basically ended up even posting it on my social media accounts where the party was and the address. Obviously, a lot of people were DMing me asking me if they could bring booze and, you know, a bunch of different things, but to be honest, I always ended up sending those people that had questions straight to the person that was actually hosting the party. That way it came straight out of their mouths and not mine, because I don't want to get in trouble at the end of the day since it wasn't my house. But going on, as I was spreading the rumor, I remember there was one girl, she was actually a cheerleader, that walked up to me later on in the school day after she heard about this rumor. And she walked up to me saying, hey, Bubba, so like, everyone's telling me you're hosting a party. Oh no, I'm not hosting a party, but I mean, I'm helping someone host a party. Why? What's going on? Oh, well, like, I was wondering, like, do you have like a date to go to the party? Now, when she asked me this, I was kind of surprised, because this girl, me and her, we had some pretty bad experiences. If you guys have ever seen the story Me and the Cheerleader, you would understand what I'm talking about. But I remember she basically ended up saying this to me, and I was kind of in shock, because one, the party wasn't that kind of party where you would bring a date to, but also on top of that, why is she asking me out? I really did not know what to say, so I ended up saying, oh yeah, I mean, I could pick you up and take you to the party, I guess. Okay, sweet. And then after, do you want to like maybe like come back to my place after the party? Yeah, sure. Okay, sounds like a plan. And she walked away. Now, I didn't know why she wanted me to go back to her place after, but honestly, I wasn't gonna complain, because like I said, throughout high school, I was a major player, so doing the Devil's Tango at any moment for me was considered a plus. I remember after 2 days went by, everyone in the school was all talking about this party. I did my job, and the emo chick that walked up to me earlier also was really happy that, you know, I managed to do the job really well. It even got to a point where randomly she ended up kissing me in the middle of the hallway as like a thank you. I don't really know what that was, but I'm happy no one saw, because me kissing an emo chick wasn't really something I wanted to be known for in my grade 12 year. But that aside, I remember basically that night of the party, I got home, I got dressed, I got ready, I put on my best dress shirt, got my Air Force Ones on, and I ended up wearing my skinny jeans. Don't ask why. Skinny jeans were cool back then. I know they're now not, but you know, I still sometimes rep skinny jeans. But going on with the story, I got inside my car, and when I drove to this girl's house to pick her up, the cheerleader, I ended up parking my car at the front, and I waited for her. When I waited for her, I ended up seeing her upstairs in her bedroom window getting ready, and when she saw me outside, she ended up coming downstairs, and she ended up hopping into my car, and instantly at that moment, I'm not gonna lie, she was in the mood. Like, she was in the mood. I don't know why she was in the mood. I really did not know how to question it whatsoever, but if I'm being honest with you, what we did next was kind of crazy, because we ended up doing the Devil's Tango in my car in front of the house where the party was before we even went in. We ended up going inside the party like an hour later, and when we got to the party, I remember a lot of people were excited to see me. It was really fun. We had a great time, but it got to the point where things got really out of control, and cops did come and shut down the party, which, to be fair, we were being really loud and being pretty obnoxious, to the point where we had kids even jumping off the balcony. Like, it was really a bad idea, but at the same time, time. She said she wanted a big party, and the next day she wasn't really complaining about it either. But before we get on to the next day, what happened after the cops came was mind-blowing. Because I remember when I heard cops were coming, I ended up getting straight to my car with the cheerleader, and me and her, we ended up getting inside my vehicle and driving away as fast as we could. We didn't want to get spotted at all, and nor did I want them taking my license plate down because I didn't want to get in trouble. And honestly, the thrill that me and this cheerleader had driving away and getting out of there as soon as possible was definitely one of the greatest memories of me back in high school, because the adrenaline rush was just amazing. I remember when we finally lost the cops, me and this girl, we ended up sitting beside each other in the car and just waiting for a bit so, you know, the cops could drive away so I can turn back the other way to get home. And as we were sitting in the car waiting, I remember she looks at me and says, so like, you usually do stuff like that? Like, you know, crazy and like wild? I mean, yeah, I guess sometimes I do. I don't really know. My life's not really that interesting. Oh, well, it seems like it really was, to be honest. All the stories I heard about you and like all the girls you've done, like you've really like gone yourself out there. Yeah, I guess you could say I had a pretty cool high school experience, I guess. I don't really know. Yeah, so I was wondering, like, do you want to like head back to my place? I kind of want to try something with you since you're so risky. At this moment, I didn't know what this girl was talking about, nor was I even thinking twice about it, because I'm gonna be for real with you, I was still coming down from the adrenaline rush. So I ended up driving straight to her place right after she said that. And when we got to her place, I remember me and her, we went inside her bedroom and we did do the devil's tango. But partway through, she stops me and says, hey, Bubba, I was wondering, can you like maybe just like, you know, let me try something on you? Wait, what? What do you want to try? And at that moment, she ends up going to her drawer that was beside her nightstand, and she opens it and pulls out something that she ended up putting onto herself. And before I say what it is, I don't want to get in trouble on the internet for monetization reasons, so you guys could take a guess. It was an eggplant, and basically she wanted to put it inside me. At this moment, I looked at her and I'm like, whoa, okay, whoa, I'm not like that, if I'm gonna be honest with you. Why, Bubba? You said you were risky. As she starts walking towards me, I remember at that moment, I'm like, listen, like, whoa, like, I'm really not in the mood to do this. I think I'm just gonna head home. I had a really fun night. She ends up getting really upset at me and starts actually yelling at me to the point where she actually ends up throwing her toy eggplant at me that she wanted to put inside me, which is really weird to say, but going on. And at that moment, I start freaking out saying, whoa, okay, you know what? I'm sorry, I gotta go. And I got inside my car and I drove away. When I drove away, I remember I ended up calling my friends, telling them what happened, and they all couldn't stop laughing at me. And even one of my friends ended up saying that for that girl, he would have done it, which is super cringe, by the way. You know who you are if you're watching this video. But going on with the story, I remember the next day, I ended up going to school, and I remember this girl ends up walking up to me, the cheerleader, and she says, oh, like, I just want to say, like, I'm so sorry about yesterday. I got really in the mood, and I just wanted to try something. I'm sorry. Can we please never talk about it and keep it a secret? I mean, you know what? Yeah, we can try, but you never got to do that again. You understand? Like, not with anyone. I won't. I promise, is what she told me. And then right after that, it was super funny because the emo girl that hosted the party came up to me afterwards, and she ended up actually, you know, freaking out and thanking me. And, you know, even though the cops ended up busting her and going to her house and, you know, actually she got a huge fine, she still said she made a giant memory of her grade 12 year. So she definitely got a good memory compared to me because, well, I guess my memory for that party was someone trying to put it in me. I don't know. Would you guys let a hot cheerleader do that? Because if not, then fall for more embarrassing stories just like this one. Peace out, guys.